Today's episode is brought to you by Modern Grower. Modern Grower is the go-to source for 100% organic, GMO-free microgreen seeds. Trusted by hundreds of growers for high quality and low prices. If you're growing microgreens, start saving at shop.moderngrower.co.
To start kind of big picture here, why is compost application not enough? Why should somebody think about adding tea to the mix in addition to applying straight compost?
There's advantages of compost tea. It's really all a matter of your needs when it comes down to your farm. So if you have compost, like I said, most people are applying 10 tons per acre. Think of how much compost that's going to need. And that's all about inoculating the soil with good biology through that compost. You can take a very small amount of compost, like say for an acre, I'd use probably, 15 to 20 cups of compost, very small amount of compost, brewing a compost tea by adding microbial foods. And the idea is to, add aeration, agitate it, and get to a peak population where you've got a lot of bacteria, you've got good protozoa going, and then you're not using that as inoculant onto the plants and soil. So you've got the advantage of being able to provide a foliar application, but you're also able to use a lot less material and time to inoculate soils and plants with good biology. So like I said, you're using far less compost. And if you think about the equipment that you would need to haul out that much compost, 10 plus tons onto a piece of land compared to taking a four-wheeler or any other type of a backpack sprayer or on a large scale a tractor, it's going to take a lot less time and energy to apply compost tea and use that as an inoculant than to get compost down. But again, as I said, it depends on your application and what your need is, because a lot of people are their soil is needing that organic matter. So it would be good to get a compost down. There's a number of things I could talk about with compost tea. You could take compost tea and use it as an inoculant on bad compost. Like, what if you've got compost that you don't think is that great? It's not breaking down very fast. Spray it with some compost tea, get that many more microorganisms going on there, and help your compost break down faster.
Well, what about this? Let's say someone has a farm. They've applied compost over the years, so their organic matter is up at 8-9%. Organic matter is not a problem. They're in a no-till type system. They're leaving a lot of roots in the soil. So organic matter, let's say a lot of that's being replaced by roots. If we ignore for right now the exporting of minerals from the soil. So if we harvest lettuce and sell it off property, we've mined some minerals from the soil and we've exported them. If we throw that out right now, that's not a consideration. Could we survive by just applying compost tea, not compost? So we're inoculating that soil and adding more bacteria and fungi and organisms to the soil from tea, a liquid, versus a solid compost, and just get off the compost train for good?
Yeah, you could. This is still questionable to me, and I would say that I'd have to disagree with Elaine's statement. Elaine's always made the statement that all soils have enough nutrients and minerals to feed a plant, and it's a matter of getting biology going in those soils to access those minerals and nutrients. And I can't say I fully agree with that. I do believe, and I'm not an expert on remineralization, but I do believe that it's also more effective to incorporate remineralization, or like in my compost teas, I like to add azomite, and I don't use a ton. I could probably even put a little bit more into my compost teas, but I'm trying to get, those micronutrients and minerals going along in with the good biology and the nutrients from that biology to put back on the soil. So yes, I believe it. I believe at a point you're going to need more than just compost tea.
Maybe at that point it's focusing on that higher grade compost, so it's less of a volume thing and more of a quality thing.
Yeah, correct.
Hello, growers. Want to boost your sales, reach new customers, and streamline your sales process, all from your home office? Ready Farmer 1, my book, is your ultimate guide to making it happen. Imagine increasing your farm's revenue without ever spending a Saturday at the farmer's market. The book will show you how to create, design, and market an online farm store, learn from real farmers sharing real stories about how they moved their stores online, freeing up their weekends and increasing their sales. Get my book, Ready Farmer 1, on Amazon and transform your farm business today.